Škoda launched its first pure electric car back in 2020, the Enyaq, and it immediately impressed. And since then, the Czech brand has added a couple more versions, including a coupe and a high-performance vRS version. This is the combination of the two, the vRS Coupé, and this car really impressed us at the Caravan and Motorhome Club's Towcar of the Year Awards 2024. So much so, we awarded it the Caravan weight under 1100 to 1300 kilograms class title. Let's take a closer look at it. There's no denying the Enyaq Coupé vRS is a striking looking car. The sloping roofline not only makes the car look more handsome, but it makes the car more aerodynamic, therefore boosting electric range. And because it's a vRS, it gets a body kit and big wheels. It also gets an illuminating grille that's made up of over 130 LEDs. It gives the car a really distinctive look, but we'd imagine it's something you'll either love or hate. The Enyaq Coupé vRS's interior scored really highly from the judges in this year's competition. That's mostly on account of how well made it is in here. This is a really nice place to sit. All the plastics feel well put together, it all feels nice to touch. There's strong equipment levels as well on this vRS model. There's an electric driver's seat with memory function, and there's power adjustment for the lumbar as well. You get leather seats, this panoramic roof, and all cars get this massive touchscreen, and it works really well actually. Big icon, so it's very easy to use on the move. I just wish the software was just a little bit quicker to operate. It can be a little bit laggy at times, but generally speaking it works very well. And there's also a small 5-inch screen in front of you. It's absolutely fine, it's just a little bit too small I think. But aside from that, this is a really, really nice interior. Let's take a look in the back. Now, normally with a coupe SUV, that sloping roofline really eats into headroom, but that's not the case with the Enyaq because I'm about 5'11". That seat is set up in my driving position and I've got loads of knee room and more importantly, loads of headroom, and it feels really light back here thanks to this panoramic roof. Now there's lots of nice little design touches back here. Firstly, there's a big pocket on the backs of the seats, but also little phone pockets as well. There's a couple of USB-C charging ports down there as well, and there's a digital climate control. Now this car has got an optional family package which includes this storage area down here with a couple of cup holders. We've also got blinds for the windows, which is really nice. Aside from that, there's ISOFIX points in both outer seats. There's an armrest with even more cup holders. You've got a choice of cup holders in this car, and it just feels really, really comfortable. And despite this car having these big sports seats, it doesn't feel claustrophobic in here at all. This car may be called a coupe, but happily you get a typically hatchback boot. Now when you open up the tailgate, electric of course, and it reveals a really good load area. Now obviously you get slightly less practicality than you do compared to the more SUV version of the Enyaq, but it's still really good. This car's got a few options on it, one of which is this movable boot floor, which is it's a really neat touch actually. It just folds back and then you can hook it up like that, and it reveals some extra storage areas. To the side here is where you can store your charging cables, and we've also got these little handles here so you can fold the seats down 60/40 from the boot area, which is really, really handy, and there's lots of little hooks and little extra storage areas as well. Now at the time of filming, Škoda has updated this car. They've given it more power and they've increased the electric range by around 40 odd miles, and there's an extra 40 odd brake horsepower. This outgoing model that I'm driving here, and we tested in this year's Towcar of the Year Awards competition, still develops 295 brake horsepower, and the claimed range is 323 miles. Now, the new version only gets from 0 to 62 miles an hour 1.1 seconds faster than this car, but this still gets to 62 in around 6.5 seconds. But aside from those little tweaks, it doesn't matter which one you go for, the outgoing one or the incoming one. The Coupé Enyaq vRS is a really nice car to drive. The vRS just spices things up a little bit compared to the regular Enyaq Coupé. We get adaptive dampers with a sports setting which stiffens everything up, adds a bit of weight to the steering wheel, and you get the twin electric motors with 295 or 340 horsepower. And not only is it quick, but there's also quite a lot of grip available. Traction is very strong in this car. The steering wheel is a little bit on the numb side, but generally speaking, it goes exactly where you want it to. The body control is good, and despite this car having 20-inch wheels as standard, the drive is very impressive. We hitched up to a 2018 Compass Capiro 462 with an MRO of 1177 kilograms, and the Coupé vRS was remarkably stable. Even on a windy day, there was no movement from the outfit. It just tracked straight and true. We found the dampers set in their stiffer sports setting to give a slightly more balanced ride, but regardless, it's a relaxing experience whatever mode you're in. But just like with any electric car we've tested, the range nosedives when hitched up. When driving solo, I was getting around 250 miles on a charge, but when hitched, I was getting 130 miles. With the car fully loaded with family and paraphernalia, that'll likely be around 100 miles. Putting aside the range issues when towing, as all EVs have, the Enyaq Coupé vRS is a fine tow car. It's fast, smooth and practical, but you could say that for the regular non-vRS Enyaq Coupé too. You'll have to really want the extra power, the sportier styling and the crystal face grille to opt for the vRS, but we can see why buyers might want to go for this flashier model.